It is 23:41 in the evening, and I am going to test this Rangeman fully. And while I'm setting it all up, I'm going to set the rate to normal, just making sure that I have got that. And what I'm doing, I'm in Hickstead, this is in Sussex, and what I'm going to do is set the navigation, and I am going to leave it running and test it. So from Hickstead in Sussex, I'm going to Dover. Then from Dover, I'm getting the ferry over to Dunkirk. And then from Dunkirk, I'm going to drive all the way through France and go to Switzerland. And I want to know, does the Rangeman work? How long can the GPS run for? And not only that, can it update all the GPS data? Can it upload to G-Shock Connected? And so along the journey, I shall do like little blogs on the way through. As long as it takes this video, I'm not sure, and I'll show you yeah, what I get up to. I do this trip twice a year. I usually go in the winter, I usually go in the summer, but it is now October, and I thought it's about time. I need to travel, need to go to Switzerland, and what better to really test the Rangeman. There it is, it's set now. I'm not going to charge this up with the battery. I've already done that with the wireless charger, and what I'll do, I'm just going to use whatever the daylight is. If it's sunny, great, otherwise we're just going to run it. Usually takes me about a day and a half. So on normal use, that's supposed to run with sunshine, it's supposed to run up to 48 hours. I'm in a car park, and I've got a nice street light there, which couldn't be any better. And there's some truckers over there, they're all asleep. So as I said, I'm in Hickstead. Off I go to Dover. I am in a rush. I've got a 2 o'clock ferry. I need to be there an hour before, so I might have to just put my foot down. And but I've got a dash cam as well, so I can do some recording in there. And yeah. Okay, right. That's it. Off we go, and let's test this this GPS out. Let's see what it can do. Yeah, can you do it? Do you think that's going to make it to Switzerland or not? What do you think? So it's 1:42 in the morning, and I've done 1 hour and 59 minutes, and I've made it on the ferry. And that was a bit of a push though, because I was supposed to be here at 1 o'clock really. Yeah, I've lost the GPS signal, so I probably need to go outside. So I'm not sure how long. If it's got no GPS signal, does it turn it off? If it does, then I'll just start it again as soon as I'm in Dunkirk. And so far it's following the route I've been driving. I've been driving at about 74 miles an hour, which is the absolute limit for the UK. And I've been watching the little map, and yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. So not sure if the memory is going to once the memory's full, then it starts recording over the old data. Now, just be interesting to see if what it stores of the journey. If anything, we'll see how long it lasts. So there's a lot of sort of things here that I'm discovering along the way. You know, it's all live sort of thing, and along the journey. So yeah, we'll see. I'm very, very tired, very, very tired indeed. So I'm gonna find a nice little bed somewhere inside and have a little kip. It's about 2-hour crossing, and yeah, hopefully I'll get a bit more awake throughout this video. It's 2:20 in the morning, and I've been going for 2 hours and 37 minutes, and I'm now out on the deck, and I managed to get a signal. So it's now following the English channel. Get some focus here. It's very noisy. The exhaust thing is up there, making a lot of noise. But yeah, really calm this evening, or this night. Hardly anybody on the ferry. Really, really empty. Kawasaki. Film the boat a little bit, and if you haven't been on one before, then yeah, it's quite good, isn't it? Well, my phone is still on 250, and the Rangeman has advanced the hour because in France is an hour ahead of England. And the Rangeman has just done it automatically, and I haven't got it synced to. I'm using the BlackBerry to record this, so my Android phone, where it has the G-Shock connected app, is down in the car. So that was super cool and interesting. So it's still following. In France, in Dunkirk. Here we are, Battlestar Galactica.
Turn right. En retard, Béziers lance à 19h, ça compte pour la 5e journée. Mais voilà pour l'essentiel, excellent début de matinée à tous.
Merci Simon, 5h32, RDL Radio avec Julien Clerc, Dalida et 3 cafés gourmands après les pronostics RDL Radio.
RDL, les pronostics. So I'm filming you, filming me, filming everything else, and yes, it's good morning for me. I got off the ferry, drove for maybe an hour. There was a bad accident. Some English car with a trailer. It was quite windy. Was going a bit fast. Hit a front of a truck, and yeah, it's ruined their trip. This is the joys of driving long distances. I've got 709 kilometers just to reach the Swiss border, and I have no idea where I am. I've just pulled over and woke up, and it's 1 o'clock. Now I checked the Rangeman. And it's still going. But what I've noticed, something very, very, very cool, is that the center dot on the map, there's a little like where you are sort of icon. It's got 2 little pause icons, and I noticed that when you move, though, it starts flashing. So that is pretty cool. So it's obviously saving some energy. I do see some LCD flashing a little bit more than normal, and it sort of pulses. So I'm not sure if that's because it's receiving a signal or the amount of time it's receiving a signal. But anyway, there you go. It started to flash there, you can see, and it's ready to go. So the battery's on full. I see the memory at the top is is only on 2 bars. So I did mention that whether it once it's full, does it write over what I've been driving or where I've been. So this is all things undiscovered. So it is saying on the map it's 7 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, if I wanted to boot it at the 130 km/h speed limit, but then I need to stop, I need to rest. I'm obviously going to have a sleep again, and I like to enjoy this trip. I like to take my time. So that is how it's going at the moment, and time is 1 o'clock. So let's make these videos short and sweet, eh? Okay, I've just pulled over and to have just a little break, and as I was doing a wee dance in the car as well, and so the total time now is coming up to 17 hours. The memory bar there, I've only used up 4 of those segments, and it is working absolutely brilliant. I do keep coming back to this. It does go on to pause. Now I'm not sure when it goes on to pause, and as you saw in the fast forward video, is as I was driving, it did take a few kilometers before it started to work, and then I fast forward it, and then you can see the map was being updated, and I think this is every sort of few minutes it updates it. And this is on normal mode. So I'm going to push button A because I want to know how far I've travelled. So I've only done 217.1 miles so far. And yes, it's taken me 16 hours and 57. Don't forget that most of that was sleeping and on the ferry. But I've still got full battery. And the light is starting to get dark now. It's 17:41, and so I think that's pretty much for today, and see what tomorrow brings. I'll be in Switzerland tomorrow, so I'm going to be driving quite a lot through the night, but I'm just going to leave this running and just seeing what happens. So far, it's brilliant. I'm really impressed how it's keeping up with me. I've increased the speed a little bit now. I'm doing about 70 something miles an hour now. The speed limit over in France is a little bit quicker because they can do 130 kilometers an hour, and opposed to in England it's 110, which is yeah, a little bit of a difference. But they are good drivers here. Not all of them, but most of them. They're really good. They get on with it. So, and it's beautiful. So I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you do want to skip all this and you don't want to have the adventure, then you can just go straight to the end of the video and just see what the outcome is. But that's it for now, and we'll see what happens later. So it's another good morning to me, and I checked the Rangeman, and at 7:25 the connection's gone. It was in sleep mode, power saving mode. Only 1 bar of the battery has gone down, so why it disconnected? Maybe when it's in power saving mode it does that. I was going to sort of thinking why it didn't do it the first night. It's probably because I left it on the dashboard and it's under sort of some lighting, so the display probably never went to sleep. Anyway, so I'm 80 something kilometers from the Swiss border, and I thought what I can do is just start the navigation again, continue through that way. It's a shame, I wanted to see it go all the way through to Switzerland, but there is always the possibility of the returning journey. You can always test it and make sure that it's not in power saving mode. So I just have to do a long press. So I'm just waiting for a connection now. I'm in the car, so it would have continued. It's on 3 bars of battery at the moment, so what I do, I just leave it running like so, and I shall add those hours onto the first time and then have a total time. Okay, I'm coming to the Swiss border, and here it is. Okay, I'm going to now stop the GPS, and since I started the second log, I've done 37 miles in 3 hours somehow. Mind you, I did stop for a coffee and a little break, so it's pushing that button there, button D, and then pushing the crown and stop. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this up and do it on my iPad. I had to change location because I didn't have a internet connection, because the maps on the G-Shock Connected aren't preloaded. So I found this beautiful little town a few miles away, and I thought I'd just give you a quick glimpse of a little bit of Switzerland. There we go, beautiful little bridge and the river there. Okay, so let's connect to the app. There it goes, should be straight in. I've got the iPad tethering from my Android phone now, which has a Swiss SIM card. You can see my tripod and all the bits. So let's import the log and see how long this is going to take. Now there's a lot of data there. Well, I'm not sure how many miles I've done overall on the first log. We know the second log. So I'm just going to play this through. Looks like it's going quick. Okay, almost done. And that really did not take much time at all. So let's see. All activities. Wow, so which one is it? Let's go for the first one. So from England all the way down to almost got to Switzerland there. Let's have a look at the bigger map. I'm using my viewfinder. Got over that. Right, so England, so it's managed to go there. That's where it started. There's a place called Hickstead, remember? So up the motorway there, and then all the way down to Dover. There's Dover, and it's even followed the route on the ferry. Wow, look at that. Wow, straight into the port. look, it's followed my route all the way down. Okay, it's missed the motorway there a little bit. It's doing quite a bit of straight lines. Okay, it's caught back on again. So it's following down there. Okay, so all the way through France, past Paris. And then, look how close I got to the Swiss border. So that's the Swiss border there. And that's where it lost the connection. So not too bad at all. So press cancel there to get a smaller map. So the miles I did to there was 552 miles. God knows, it only took 24 hours. Well, let's call it 24 hours. I did take my time, and of course I'm messing around setting up the camera as well and getting that all positioned, and it all just takes time. Plus loads of people messaging me, have you arrived yet, are you back yet, you know, the usual. Okay, it hasn't done the altitude. Oh, it's a big truck just passing. It hasn't done the altitude there. I suppose it's just a bit too much data. So that's your start and end. It has got some pressure readings there from where I started, but the altitude readings, there isn't any. There is nothing there. It's just got an overall mileage. There is no altitude. Of course, it's just too much information. But 552 miles. Now, has anybody done that in a car, gone on a ferry as well, crossed the waters, driven down through France, and just got to the border of Switzerland? So I'll just do that one there. Let's have a quick look. So that's a bit more detailed there. There's a bit of a lag on my iPad. Bit of a lag, so that's where I started. Yeah, okay. And this was a very twisty road, and because it's in normal, that would be interesting to see how that would do on a high rate GPS. I just had it on normal, so maybe on the way back I should do a high rate. Sorry, my tongue's all mixed up because I'm now having to change languages as well. So and that's where I got to, right on the border. So it's very accurate there. Okay, couldn't follow the road, so I'll set the high rate next time and see how it does one of my favourite roads there. This is here in France. So, and cancel, isn't it there? Again, it hasn't done the altitude there, not sure why. 51.6 miles, taking 3 hours to do that. That's funny. On the watch it had less than that. Interesting, very interesting. I'm here in Biel, outside Rolex, and I thought that would be a great starting place for the return journey to England. And I just want to cover something very quickly before I continue, and that's regarding the app. Whereas on the mileage here is 51.6, and you noticed on the watch it was shorter, and the reason being is that the watch isn't measuring the distance traveled, it is actually setting the starting point. So basically from the starting point to the goal, it's drawing a straight line, so it's giving a bearing to your start all the time, and it only calculates the combined distance once you upload to the app. So I have got the cradle on, and I've been charging it with an external battery pack, so it is absolutely on the maximum. So I'm going to go into the navigation menu and onto settings, and I'm going to adjust this now to the high rate and see how far it goes with that. Now, it is a claimed of 22 odd hours. It's a beautiful sunny day today, and I will be doing most of the driving during this weather, so hopefully it really gives that battery a charge. So long press on the crown and we will wait. I'm in a car, so it's now on log 3, and I shall just play this out. And I have now got a signal, so I shall remove the cradle, and now it can run entirely on its own power. And I thought, just put that there in the sunshine, I thought it would also be fun to use my Gravity Master as well, and I thought I shall do point locations as well with this. So hopefully I'm all connected with that. So long press, I'll put a C on the dial there, and it's connecting, and I have made a point memory adjustment. And throughout the journey I shall be pushing the button here, making many points, and I shall join all the points up and make an overall plan, and will sort of be interesting to compare them both while travelling back all the way back to Hickstead, remember. So let's see what happens.
I'm not so tired. I just feel the pressure of that thing that I have in my...
I'm at the French border. Let me get some light on that display there. I've used up about 4 bars of the memory already, and I've only done just over an hour, so quite interesting to see what happens.
Save me from everything. Tell me where to find my way. I'm just looking for something I can make in another day. 'Cause I'm falling down, fading away. 'Cause I'm falling down. This is what I know, I just keep running. I was working fast and hard, never thinking about now. But living unhappy thanks to all the things that I have to try. I wanted peace, I wanted to be fine. I wonder why I cannot just sit for a while. I really want to see what it looks
I've
like.
just pulled over just to have a little break and to see what is happening. I've still got 585 kilometers to go, or 600 kilometers, however you read that. So still quite a distance. So what is happening with the Rangeman? Now, as you've seen in the fast forward part of the video when I was traveling, I set the map to 1 mile just to see how it draws the line, and it's very, very responsive. Don't forget, this is on high rate, but notice that the memory bar is filling up quickly. Now, if you've got saved logs, or you have logs, unless they are saved, once it reaches the maximum it will rewrite over the unsaved logs, just as a tip there. And if I do a point bearing just to see how far I've travelled, I've only travelled 91.7 miles. Now on the speedometer of my car it is showing close to about 180 miles. So that is drawing a straight line straight to the start point. I've just done over 4 hours, and so far it's doing very well. I've still got a full battery, and I'm leaving it on this phone holder and directing it in full sunlight, so it really does keep it maintained with the solar power charging. So the memory at the top here reached maximum, and when it did, it turned off the GPS, so I had to restart it. I thought that when that reaches full, it will start a automatic new log of number 4 in this case, but it didn't. So you need to start it manually, which I wasn't aware of. I thought once the memory bar reaches full, it starts from 0 and starts a new log automatically, and this is on high rate. So when it's on normal rate, the memory lasts a lot longer. That's just something to bear in mind if you're planning to do something similar to me. So the last update for this evening, I'm 302 kilometers away from Dunkirk. The Rangeman is now on log number 5. I've had to start a new log, and as the memory bar fills up, and then it just stops the navigation. I've noticed that the flashing icon here hasn't gone on to pause. I've left it for several minutes and it still flashes, unlike when it is in normal mode. After about a minute or 2, it will go into the pause mode. Be interesting to see how it does this evening. I've parked under a lamp, under a street light, so I shall just direct it on there, and hopefully it doesn't go into a power saving mode, and I will monitor it and see if a pause does come on. I've only just done 41 minutes and I've travelled 11.1 miles. I've just stopped and fueled up. So at the moment I'm going to have to put all the logs together and work it out like so. So at the moment it's running with 3 cells now on the battery. I've just this moment just lost the first bar, so it's doing very well, and it has been very sunny today, so I've had it on the dashboard in full sunshine, so that does make a difference. So that's it for this evening, and we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. Another good morning to me. It is 11 minutes past 9 Sunday morning, and the battery indicator has gone up to full, and I've only just left it in the sun for about half an hour. So it means that the battery did drop last night, but it only just dropped. So as normal, the memory got filled up and it shut down again. But I did notice, let me get a new navigation going. I did notice that the pause indicator did come up, and but but it didn't last for long, and by the time I got my camera out to sort of video it, it had started to blink again. So I'm just starting a log number 6, and I have 343 kilometers now to do to get to Dunkirk. And so I shall see. It's another beautiful day today, so probably get lots of charging. And so this evening I'll be close to the border, and I do have an early ferry, so I have to sort of time it so I'm not hanging around for too long. And we got a signal and we're in. So let's see what happens in this part of the video. So it seems that the icon will flash for about 5 minutes and then go into a pause status. But without moving, there, it starts flashing. So I'm just timing it from there using that clock. So it was 10:21, and literally rests for maybe a minute and then starts up again. Unlike the normal mode, where the pause will just remain until you start moving. So this is really consuming a lot more energy if it's not pausing for long. I had to pull over because I had a huge migraine, and that's my view at the moment. It's really something nice. It's a farm. There's some guys shooting their shotguns. Let's say real rangemen, like this rangeman, but again I've lost the signal. It seems to be on average every 4 hours. I've looked in the instructions and it says on the high rate it will run for 5 hours. Now this is just for one log, by the way. Because I'm driving, I'm using a lot more memory, so it's about 4 hours, I would say. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it for now. I'm just going to enjoy this view. Now I've got about 5 hours to kill, so I think I might just have something to eat now my headache's good, my migraine's good, well, the beginning of it, and start off a bit later and get to port. Got to get to port about an hour before. There's the guys shooting down there. You can see him there in the field. He's got his dog, great big gun, and yeah, so I got to be there an hour before, and I'm now going to be on log 7 and possibly be doing a log 8 when I get to the other side, when I land in England. So I'm going to have to sort of patchwork this all together. It's a bit messy, but the thing is the battery is incredible. It's still on full, but mind you, it has been very sunny today, and the position I've been driving with the car with the direction of the sun, it has been on the watch all the time. I mounted it on the dashboard in the phone holder, and yeah, phenomenal. It just doesn't pause. It doesn't pause for long. If it does, it's just for about a minute, if that. So interesting, really interesting. So I shall continue. I shall continue all the way back to Hickstead using the high rate, and then we'll have a little load up with all the information. And I'm still using the Gravity Master making log import, so it'll be interesting to see how that sort of works as well. And that's it for this moment in time. It's funny because I got stopped twice when I came down. I've been to Switzerland. I got stopped twice. Twice. The first time they searched all my car and I wasn't happy about that because they opened things. Customs police, yeah? Customs police.
Custom police?
Custom police? You know this?
No, I don't understand.
They said custom police. They were in yellow. Yellow? Yellow.
Yellow, jaune, ouais. Okay.
Yeah, yellow. Here?
Ouais.
Yeah, with not police.
Douane?
Six. Two cars. They stopped.
To control your car?
And they controlled and said nothing. And I said, this is not good.
Ouais.
You can't do this. They opened I had gifts. They opened boxes, took all the things out.
La douane, ouais.
This is not.
You come from
England. From England?
No, you go to England. And you come from
Switzerland.
Ouais, okay. Okay, bye.
Okay, thank you. That's 3 times. 3 times they've stopped me. Why is that then? Because I've got a lot of cameras, maybe. Actually, I have 1, 2, 3. Again at Dunkirk, and I've just checked in and I'm waiting for the ferry. I have to wait for at least 1.5 hours before I can start to board, and I will leave the GPS running. It is on log 7 and I will have to make a log 8 because it usually only lasts about 4 hours. And if 5 hours tops it, then I still will need to make a log 8. And talking of logs, I think I need to create my own log. So I'll see you on the ferry. So it's 1:34 in the morning and I'm finally on the ferry. The GPS is still running at 4 hours and 20 minutes, but the memory is filling up very quickly, so possibly could make the 5 hours. It's a very calm night tonight, so should be a nice crossing. 4.5 hours and log 7 has ended. I am now starting, hopefully, the last log, and almost ready to set sail. At 1:48 we're supposed to leave dock at 2 o'clock. Okay, the Rangeman has adjusted the hour difference, putting it back to 2:30, whereas the Gravity Master is still ahead and on French time. And on my mobile, I'm still on the French network, so maybe that's why the Gravity Master hasn't done an update yet. 1 hour and 41 minutes and travelled 29.5 miles so far. So that crossing has taken 2 hours and 22 minutes and is exactly 37.4 miles, if you're interested, from Dover to Dunkirk or Dunkirk to Dover. I've just pulled over. It is 5:21 in the morning and I've done 4.5 hours and it's on 94.2 miles. But when I push the memory button, it is coming up almost full. So it looks like I'm going to have to start a log 9. I still have 65 kilometers to go before I reach Hickstead, so I'm going to quit this because I want to carry on driving. Stop that. Let's quit and start another log. See, log 9, and now that should see me through to the finish line. We're almost there. I'm going to Hickstead and I'm going to the services in Hickstead where I started. Remember, in the car park? For me it feels like it has been 2 weeks, and for you it's probably going to be a few hours. Here it is. There's that street light. Done. Okay, I'm now in Hickstead, the Hickstead services, and it is 55 minutes it's taken me. I've done a 23.1 mile bearing and it is 6:19 in the morning, and yeah, it used some of the memory there as well. So let's stop log number 9, and while that's doing that, I shall do the time and date stamp on that as well, and that is connecting, so that is all off. I'm extremely tired. I've still got a little bit of a journey before I get home, but I just thought Hickstead was actually a kind of cool place to begin, and so tomorrow morning I will have some energy and some more fun, because I'm just exhausted, and you can imagine I've been driving a long time, and I shall get all this on the apps and take you through and have a little chat about it. So till tomorrow morning, I wish myself good night. It is one day later, and I really did need to catch up with some sleep, and I needed to get my hair cut very, very urgently. So I want to get these watches uploaded. Well, the Gravity Master is already uploaded because that does it automatically. So I've already got the app running, so I just want to connect to G-Shock connected. Nice long press, should be nice and quick. Now, we had 9 logs to update. Now, I noticed something very interesting that the Rangeman did. I'm not sure if anyone else has lived this, but the Rangeman does sync its time with the device it's connected to, and I've noticed that it actually transferred all the log imports into the app automatically, and I didn't do this. So I've deleted them all, and I want to see how long it takes for this to actually download all that data. Now, this is all on the high setting, and you saw how quick it was to download or transfer the normal setting. So I'm just going to play this out, and we'll see how long it takes. Don't let me down, Rangeman. Oh, freezing up. Now, is that freezing up because of Apple, or is that freezing because it is saving that log data? So it's done it, what, 4 times now. So yeah, possibly, could be possibly quite normal activity. I have to wait for it to download. So you guys at home watching the video don't actually get to sit through any of this, because I like to edit things. So halfway through, and it is taking about 5 minutes so far. Burping. It is now coming up to 6 minutes. 6 minutes. No, don't yawn and fall asleep. Keep awake. Got the king on this evening. So, do you think people are going to watch all of your video? Probably not. Probably get bored of it. Right, welcome to those who have skipped. And this is going to be the final results of what or how a Gravity Master and a Rangeman performed travelling from Hickstead to Switzerland, and then from Switzerland back again. 9 minutes so far, and it is still transferring. I'm in. I'm very excited there. Right, let me get all set up, and we'll go through all activity. So I have page 1 of 3, and I have all 9 logs. So there's the first log when I travelled from Hickstead and almost made it to the border of Switzerland. Then the second log was the last sort of 80 odd kilometres that took me to Switzerland. So this is the next one, and again it hasn't done the graph there. So I did 141.4 miles, and this is, if you remember, this is my favourite part of the journey because it's all in the mountains. So this is where I started the return journey. That was in Rolex there, and it's actually David, I think it's David, is it something David? Yes, it is David Strasse. So that's where I left, and Biel is does have quite a lot of motorway with the tunnels going through this part here with the where you saw the tunnels I was going through. It's absolutely stunning, incredible engineering of motorway, and big tunnel here, and of course it's losing that GPS signal. But once I sort of leave that area and head more up into the mountainous parts, then there's no tunnels, and wow, it's really gluing to that road. Really impressed. So it's up here, still not in in France yet, and then it's turning there. That's it. Now onto this river. Absolutely fantastic drive that is, and this takes you all the way to the French border. Look at that. It's really incredible, really incredible. And there's the roundabout. So that is France. So I need to just show you where the border is. So the border is there, right there. That's it there. So through that border, I actually went for a wee there. That's funny. So this, remember the last the second log where I was using normal, and this is on high rate. So look at the difference. Look how that is really, and I wasn't hanging around on this road. I was keeping up with a couple of bikers, and they did stop at some work traffic lights and turned around and went, "How are you behind me still?" Well, I am a biker as well, so yeah, and I can drive. So anyway, I can just play around with that just all night long, no problem. But I know you guys want to get on with it. So yes, that was absolutely incredible. Right, so next going back, so on page 2 of 3, so this is the next one. So I'm gonna patch all these up together and show you at the very end of how it all works. So that was continuing from there, and really heading up into France on that one, and I did 169 miles on that, and that lasted for 4 hours and 21 minutes. I've got a very short one here. This is 12.2 miles. This is 4.56. So where I stopped, I continued just for a short way. Let's make it a little bit bigger so you can actually see. Yeah, so I just only continued up the road, and that's where I spent my overnight there. That's where you got that nice photograph of the morning sunrise. And yeah, you can see that I was out of the car quite a bit, and yeah, so I cut that out and go back. And right, so I've done that bit. So this bit here is quite a long one. It's 105 miles. It ran for 4 hours and 32 minutes. So let's have a little, make sure that so that's where, that's the where I parked overnight. And again, there it goes through quite a big city there. Absolutely spot on with the road, absolutely spot on. So that should be another service station. Yes, this is the service station where the military police came along over to me and yeah, questioned me, which I found very funny, because there was guys in the field here shooting their shotguns. Yeah, okay, can't work it out either, but it's their job, isn't it? So from there, then it's, yeah, done that. Going back, go back to the one, right, so here, look at this one. This is all new to me, I've not seen this. Right, I travelled 86.9 miles. That is 4.5 hours of run time. And yeah, look, so I started from there. Yeah, just checking. So I went through there, then came up to a junction, still fresh in my head. Came in the junction, there's a toll, we pay your toll there, then you leave, then it's a matter of going through that town there. Some really nice sort of countryside around there, and then it starts getting very industry around here. I should have carried on and gone around there, but I messed up, and yes, it's even taken me, showed me around there. So now coming into port of Dunkirk, loads of roundabouts. Look at that, really impressed. Wow, look, I came in here. Yeah, I went to the ticket office because I was early, and I was hoping that I can get on the earlier ferry, and then I came back out again and then drive in and end up there, which I think, if I zoom out, yes, look, I'm actually driving on the water. So that was, yeah, so we've done the mileage on that one. So the next one there, we've got log number 8, 105.7 miles. This is 4 hours and 33, possibly could be the longest running. So there you go, so left the port, perfect. Even it's got the, when the boat actually turned around, because it was parked in forwards, and then it's gone. Now look, it's missed its line. So wow, really quite ziggy zaggy, isn't it? So you come into the port, wow, look, brilliant, just gets in there and then around through all that custom stuff. Then I even stopped in here, bought some little snacks just to keep me going, and then that just went all the way to that point there, and that's where I had to stop the navigation and restart it, because while driving I didn't want to, I just wanted to carry on. So I did press cancel. I think I should have pressed that one. Right, so this is the last one, log 9, 30.4 miles, and this one was 55 minutes. And so from there, yeah, absolutely spot on there. Yeah, I stopped and had a little pee there. It's just, oh, it just logs everything. And straight down in to Hicksted, the Hicksted services. There you go. So yes, I drove in there, and yeah, I actually turned around as well. Guys, actually caught everything perfectly. So I'm just going to put all that together and lay it out for you, so it is a bit more together. I'm not sure if I can overlay it. I don't know if I have that technology, but you are really getting to understand how the high rate works against the normal rate. So which one do I prefer? Which one is the more, I mean, overall this one gives you, I think G-Shock just crashed. Yeah, so this is a 3rd generation iPad mini, should be up to this. So it's loading again. Okay, I basically just had to restart it for some unknown reason. Can't be that. Well, mind you, there's a lot of information. So anyway, I was coming back to the which one works better in my opinion. I liked the fact that it did the whole route in one go, like so. I mean, it wasn't that bad actually with accuracy, wasn't that bad, but I just like the fact that it's an overview, much better. It's giving me the total miles, it's giving me the total time as well, whereas when you're doing a very long distance, I don't know if anybody's going to be doing something like this. This was just an extreme test. This is like pushing it and then going beyond. What is it capable of? It is capable of doing both. If you want an overview, then normal rate, and it works fine even when traveling, okay, on the motorways, autobahns, okay. If you want a more accurate, then you got to be prepared. it's going to last from 4 hours up to 4 hours, about there, 4.5 hours. You're pushing it. Okay, so I'm going to get all this a little bit more organized so you get a better overview. I'm going to tally up all the distances and the times and just compare it to the normal rate. Next is the Gravity Master and see how that worked out. Okay, the Gravity Master has uploads instantly, so as soon as you push the button it's already uploaded. The interesting thing, I just want to cover this because it did happen, for some reason I wasn't getting any data on the phone, so I thought I'd just leave it, and it wasn't uploading any maps. So basically when you go to all points, you look and then there'll be a map here as you see here. But without the data connection, and because the maps aren't stored in G-Shock Connected, it was just coming up with a blank. But it was giving the coordinations of the GPS coordinates, I would say, and which is actually really interesting. So where is that getting its data from? Now I believe it's probably from the telephone signal. That's how I think this works. It's nothing to do with GPS at all. Okay, I think the GPS is really only used on that to actually set. I mean, if you don't have any data and you want to know, and you're in the middle of nowhere and you have no clue, then yes, then it's the long push on this button and you get a GPS update. That is where I thought different. I thought the GPS from the watch actually puts it into the phone, but it's not the case. I know it has the uses the data off the phone, but I thought in this case I had no data and I thought GPS would be anyway. And it's loaded 29 stamps, so I'm just gonna put all this together and put it into that 3D map and see if it plays and see what the distance is and the time, and compare it to how the normal rate, the high rate from the Rangeman worked. So for those who are old enough, do you remember the arcade game Millipede? Look at that. It's basically just drawn a millipede from England, Hixted to Switzerland there. So I'm going to open this and see how it copes. Now, everything is there, look, it's all there. God, there's loads of it. Wow, really incredible so far. Okay, it hasn't crashed, so that's a good sign. There is nothing coming up here, so I'm really interested to see what a 3D map is going to look like. It's loading. I think I'm just going to leave this in whatever it's on, high rate. Right, it's loading maps. It's loading the map. Oh, okay, it's going. Still loading. Yeah, it's gonna take away. Wait, so I feel the phone's getting warm. I think Android 8.0 is probably better, and probably about 50 gigabytes of RAM, if that's possible. That's really struggling to get all that on there, but I'm pushing it. I'm absolutely pushing it to the limit. I'm not sure if anybody has abused the Gravity Master this way, or abused the Rangeman for that matter. Anyway, so I'm just going to play this out. Oh my god, that's still going. It's 3 minutes. And it's another good morning to me, and I have left this overnight loading, and nothing is happening. So I closed the app and tried again. Then I closed the app and shut the phone down and restarted it to free up the memory, and it is still loading. Now this is running Android 7.0, so it could possibly be to do with that. I doubt it's to do with the phone. The phone is on a 6 GB of ROM and has a octa-core processor, which should handle this easily. So I'm guessing 7.0 cannot handle 29 point memos from the Gravity Master, which is a great shame. Okay, it's a great shame. Casio, are you listening? Fix it, please. Quite important. There you go. It's logged in. So there's my millipede, and I can go and look at the individual. I actually did delete a couple of them because I had duplicated them for some reason. I think it's because when videoing I wanted to look all nice for you guys, but it can be individually opened. It does give you the time, the date. It's basically time stamping. You can make it bigger. It's just a shame that it didn't give you hang on, I'm pushing that correctly. I'm doing it all through the viewfinder, so there it is, loading up. So that was Hicksted. That was my finishing point there, and it is very perfectly, it's just accurate, very accurate, very good, very impressed. Just would be nice to see that 3D map go in and see the overall distance, but I'm sure it's all going to be different because when I'm setting the points, it's doing a straight line to the next one, to the next one, to the next, so it's not going to be as accurate as what the Rangeman did. Okay, I've put the all the maps together for the Rangeman from G-Shock Connected and added up all the distance and the running times, and I've done this both for the normal rate and the high rate, and I shall play that at the end of this video. But just want to point out that I have been really impressed how long the Rangeman would be able to run using the GPS. Very impressed indeed, and I'd like to say a huge thank you to Watcho.co.uk for supplying both these watches really, and so there's a big shout out for you guys. So as always, and I like to add, thanks for accompanying me on this journey, I would say, and hope you found lots of useful information, and maybe it's something that you may want to consider doing soon or later. So anyway, that's the times, and as always, thanks for watching.